This week, Scotland will decide if they want to remain part of the United Kingdom or become an independent sovereign state out on their own. Now, there are many questions about what will happen if they do decide to go for independence, but two that can be kind of answered now is what will the UK without Scotland be called, and will I need to buy a new pillowcase? Firstly, the name. We're currently called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and if Great Britain decides to leave, can we really still call ourselves Great Britain and Northern Ireland? Well, yes. Just like how the Republic of South Africa doesn't include all of Southern Africa and the United States of America don't include all of the Americas, we could still call ourselves Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It would just be technically less correct. Or we could just become the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland. The reason for this is that the word Britain is derived from the Latin word Britannia, which is what the Romans called their province on the British Isles, and as you can see, that's pretty much just England and Wales. So England and Wales is Britain, and Britain and Scotland is Great Britain. So without Scotland, Britain would lose its greatness, and I can hear the Scottish nationalists laughing from here. So, with the name probably not going to change, and probably won't change much if it does. Now onto the flag. Obviously there's one flag that won't be changing no matter what. But what about the UK's flag? The Union flag is a combination of the crosses of St George of England, St Andrew of Scotland, and St Patrick of Ireland. So surely if Scotland left, its cross should be removed as well. Well, again, for technical reasons, we wouldn't have to. Firstly, the original Union flag was designed to represent the union of the crowns between England and Scotland, not the parliaments. And the current plan is to keep the existing monarchy going in Scotland if they do become independent, so the crowns between England and Scotland would remain united, so we could kinda keep this flag in use if we wanted to. Secondly, and far more importantly, the Union flag is a lot more recognisable and a lot more well known around the world, and so the remaining UK wouldn't really get anything out of changing it. It would also cost a lot to change it. I'm not entirely sure how much, and it's really hard to predict how much, but I can guarantee it would be a lot more than any government would really want to pay. So when you ask the question what would happen to the Union Jack if Scotland left, the answer is nothing. But it is still interesting to think about what could happen if we were to change it. Probably the most likely change would be that the counter-changing between the Irish and Scottish crosses would be removed, thus giving more space for Ireland's cross and pleasing fans of symmetry. This would essentially remove Scotland, and we could just say the blue represents the sea, or the rain, or make up a bad excuse as to why the blue is still in there. What about Wales? Well, Wales was part of England when the original flag was designed, so it didn't really receive any representation because it wasn't considered its own country. If we were to follow the trend of using the crosses of England and Ireland, we could take the cross of St David, who is the patron saint of Wales, and add him to the flag, maybe by making the background black, which makes it look slightly fascist. England prevails. Or if we were just going to make a nice background change to include Wales, we could always just take their national flag and use the green, or maybe even use the white instead, and that kind of gets us back to where we started. Or the dragon! Wales has got a dragon on its flag, and the first rule of Design Club is that, well, you don't talk about Design Club. But another one of the rules is that if you have a dragon available, you use the dragon because dragons are awesome. But where would this dragon go? We could probably put it in the middle, but then we have a dragon over the cross of a dragon slayer. We could always put it in the top corner, but then we're ruining Ireland's cross. But then again, Northern Ireland doesn't even have its own official flag, so we could instead use the Red Hand of Ulster for it. Speaking of representation, England is represented by a Christian cross, and is 21st century multicultural England really that Christian? Not really. So is a cross really the best thing to use? I guess instead we could have a lion, maybe? But then we've got a lion, a dragon, and a hand that we need to work into a flag design, and can you see why it's just easier to keep the old flag? So there you have it. What will happen to the UK's name and flag if Scotland leaves? The answer is nothing. Kind of. Or Scotland could vote to remain in the United Kingdom, which will mean this entire video was a waste of time. Till next time.